I'd like to introduce you to my 5-year-old self. A 5-year-old that had a full crop of hair, was tall, maybe lanky is the word, but was full of so many questions. Feeling inadequate. Why am I here? Why aren't I going home like everyone else is going home? Why am I being bullied? Despite being the tallest, why do I feel so empty? And I remember in boarding school, all I could look forward to was when we would close school so that I could go to Shags and be with my grandmother, the one person who loved me with all her heart. My focus was playing, chores, and when I came back to school, it all flipped. Because unlike all you parents who say you're number one in school, I wasn't number one in class. But I found solace somewhere else. I remember in our days when we were being taught how to swim, there was only one method. You're lined up and you're thrown one by one into deep end. I think, I don't know where the human rights guys were, but yeah, it was quite traumatic. So there was 2 situations and scenarios for you. Either you sink, 6 seconds, and they pull you out, or you float, and then you're a star. And I was thrown into the water, and your guess is right, I was a star. And as a 5-year-old boy, I found peace in water. 3:50 p.m., the bell rings, you dash straight to the swimming pool. And you get into the water, and you spend so much time in that water. Because 1, it takes you out of your reality. It numbs your questions. It numbs your pain. Being in that water gave me peace and removed me out of reality. Weekends, mornings, evenings. But that came with a bonus. I made the primary school swimming team. I made the provincial team. I made the national team. And I was the captain of my house. I found an escape from all my questions. Class 1 to class 8, same routine. Into university, the routine was the same, but now university life becomes a bit interesting and spicy. You introduce girls, you introduce partying, and you introduce other exotic things. And color. And still in university, I found adequacy in water. I was in the university swimming team, and we won a lot of things, which was just amazing. Post-university, the real life has started. Now, there's no more swimming. Swimming has been removed from the equation. There's no more escape from reality. There's no more water to wash away your pain. But something else that was introduced in university is now profound. And I remember vividly when I started my career, it was an interesting routine. Wake up in the morning feeling inadequate, feeling worthless. Work hard during the day to kill that inadequacy. In the evening, party hard to get away from the reality. And in the morning, reboot and do the same thing. Those were quite interesting days. And this routine remained the same until that interesting day in Marsabit, where our car had rolled and were rescued by a goat truck. I spent a lot of time in hospital, roughly 2 weeks. And I am naturally super hyper. And for those of you who've been in hospital, you know how the experience is. Hospitals are extremely boring. And for once, I found myself spending time with myself, away from all of the things that had anchored to take away the pain that I had. All of the things that I felt were giving me peace. All of the toxic relationships, all of the toxic substances. And when I sat there, I asked myself, again, do I really want to do life this way? And my answer was no. So I decided to take control of my own destiny. I spent hours and hours researching people who've turned things around. Your Nelson Mandelas, your David Goggins, your Mike Tysons, and those who haven't turned things around. Your Tupac Shakurs, your Whitney Houstons, your Amy Winehouses. And I found consistency in all of those who've turned things around. Life is about routine and process. And when I was discharged from hospital, I decided to implement routine and process. And the first thing that I decided to do was I was going to be an Ironman. Ironman is the toughest triathlon event. It starts off with a 3.8 kilometer swim, and then you cycle 180 kilometers, and you complete it with a full marathon all in one day. But life is about process. You can't wake up and do an Ironman. I had never run more than 1.5 kilometers in my life. So I decided I'm going to start the process by competing at the Lewa Marathon. Amazing marathon. Starting off with a 1.5 kilometer training routine into 5 kilometers, into 15 kilometers, 21 kilometers, 30 kilometers. And 6 months later, I conquered the Lewa Marathon. Ironman was going to be a one-year training program. Trained for 6 months. Ironman training is intense. It's not easy. On the day of an Ironman, you'll know whether you'll have a long day or an easy day. And it's defined by what you've done in the months and even years prior. 6 months into training, I remember this day vividly, December, Thursday. We were cycling in Limuru. Amazing, beautiful scenery. And as life would have it, I got hit by a truck. 11 stitches later on my leg, a few bruises, many months out of training. I was ready to try again. But this time it was very difficult because getting on a bicycle was traumatic. All of the things that happened in Limuru kept flashing through my head. Being very scared, seeing like this would happen again, self-pity. I am, though, eternally grateful to my teammates. Sports is not about, and I think everything in life is not about individuality. It's about the people you have around you. I'm eternally grateful for my teammates, my triathlon teammates at Miled, who really helped me build my self-confidence, who helped me get onto the bike again, and who helped me start that journey again. A journey that enabled me to compete for Kenya at the World Championships twice, once in Denmark and once in Spain. June 2019, words that I'll never forget. The finish line of Ironman, Maryland. 13 hours later. The words still ring in my head right now. Nanjero, you're an Ironman. And I just flashed back and saw that 5-year-old boy, full of so many insecurities, feeling empty and inadequate, who has now conquered the world. And it was such an amazing feeling. And if you change your routine, your environment, and you change what you do, you can achieve anything you want. I've been lucky enough to surround myself with winners. Right now, I'm surrounded by winners, and I'm incredibly happy. I've surrounded myself with a life coach who's helped me get through things, a therapist, and my family, who are incredibly supportive of what I do. Right now, I can confidently say that I'm self-aware. And self-awareness is such an amazing tool for you to have. Not to say that I don't have the insecurities that I've mentioned before. I still have them. But the difference is right now, I can spot them a mile away. I can spot the storm when it's coming. And I can prepare for that storm. I can put things in place to ensure I ride the wave of that storm rather than that storm pouring on me.